Hola amigos, it's Will here at Will's Custom Figures, and here I am with another big bad breakdown of the one and only, the most legendary 151st Pokemon of all time, Mew, from the fantastic original 151 Pokemon. Man, I loved Mew as a child growing up. Looking at the movie, the feature that they did on him with Mewtwo, and all of the fantastic early games that were published and put out. This was the true first legendary Pokemon. Sorry for the shakiness here. He's on a wire. Um, and how do I think I've done with this Mew? Well, he was actually made last year, 2020. And this was something that was quite close to home and very personal to me, because Mew was actually one of the first figures that I made years and years ago. So I wanted to try and do it a little bit of justice now that I'd learned and taught myself some extra sculpting skills. Now here is, just out of interest, the very first Mew that I ever made. And as you can see, it's not bad. It's definitely not great. It's very, very big in comparison to maybe some of the other figures that I've recently made. So as you can see here, here's Grimer that I've recently reviewed, just to put it into perspective how tall it is. And I'll do a few measurements for you guys in a minute. You can probably see though that it's the rubbish clay that I used to use, just the cheapo stuff from Amazon. And as you can see, this is the better stuff, and this is the better stuff. This fantastic Mew that I've put here, I've tried to get all the proportions right from the game, and I think that I've pulled it off a little bit better than what I did, 4.5 years ago, whatever it was that I started sculpting. So thought I'd put this comparison up for you, and hopefully you like being able to see a little bit of my history in creating custom figures. Now, to talk you through how I made this, I used a rock out of the garden as a base, put some clay around it after I'd attached a wire throughout the whole piece of the rock, and then used the clay over the top then to cover up that wire. It went straight up, and quite a funny story, I posted this online and everybody said, "Oh, this Mew's brilliant, oh, I absolutely love it, but why is he peeing black pee?" And I used glitter to try and make it a little bit more pleasing to the eye, rather than having a big silver rod going up his bum. But there's no other way for me to do it, unfortunately. And I actually have a black background where I display all of my my personal Pokemon figures, so you can't actually see the black of the wire. Hence why I did it with a slightly silver and a slightly glittery approach when he is on display, because it blends in with the background. So just to talk you through a few more details, I used a armature wire base. So I made basically a small little torso for him, little pins out for where the arms would be, little pins for where the legs would be, a big long piece of the same wire here. It's just normal, I think it's aluminium wire from eBay. And I did it in stages, did the body first, did the head after, tried to master that, put in little rivets for where the eyes would be painted, so I couldn't miss when I was doing the paint work. It had to be perfectly measured. Then added on the arms, the legs, and the little bulbous part at the back here of the tail. I'm really pleased with how it turned out, and this pink is, I think it's a squid pink from Vallejo. And for me, that's the perfect pink. For the eyes, I'll do a little bit of a close-up for you. The eyes are, I think it was aquamarine blue with a little bit of teal mixed in there. I used white dots on the top and then a silver gloss over the top to really try and bring out that nice little fairy Pokemon look that everybody loves from Mew. I also use a 3DS. I've completed my Pokedex. Did that very, very many years ago. So I go on there and I look at all my classics and my favourites, and I try to master the exact look of that Pokemon from the Pokedex. And I'd like to think that it's not turned out too badly. And you can see different angles, different ways to pose him. You know, you can do lots of different things with this wire because it's so bendy. And obviously my figure unfortunately isn't articulating because it is indeed a sculpture. However, you can pose him in some pretty gnarly and cool poses because of using the wire. Final thing for me, really, before I go here today, guys, a little bit of a measurement here for you. So it's about 3 inches tall. The cost, very, very little cost for this figure. He was, I'd probably say £3, £4 of clay, maybe a pound of wire and a stone out of my back garden. So very, very cheap to make. And as mentioned before, size comparison wise, everything wise, paint wise, all of the details on this original one are far outweighed and far better on this new Mew that I created. And also this one is just standard, it doesn't actually float like the other one. So upon reflection, I think I completely outdid the original figure. I'd like to hear your thoughts and comments in the section below. Please like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and Facebook. The first time I caught this guy back in the day, when I was a little boy, probably 10, 12 years old, I was very excited to put him in my team and to play with him. And I've always been a huge fan. I really want to work on a Mewtwo. I still haven't done a Mewtwo to this day, but please let me know if you want to see Mewtwo, a different variant of Mew, maybe the shiny Mew that's blue. If any of you are interested in doing custom figures yourself, or if you want to ask about how you can pick one of these up, then please drop me a message, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Take it easy, and thank you again so much for watching. Mew out.